Okay.
But yeah, I really hope that people like realize how shitty person she is.
Okay. I have the splash screen for the stream starting soon up now, so I should probably hang up.
Mm,
Because I believe you can be heard over the mic if I stay on.
yeah, probably. So yeah, we should talk again later.
Alright, talk to you later.
Yes, talk to you.
Alright, I'm not sure if this is recording, but that was just me chatting with a friend who needed to get some things off her chest. Oh, hello. Stream is not starting yet. I'm just getting the splash screen up. Is the chat showing up on your end? Alright, well, I need to go and deal with a few things. The stream will be starting in 8 minutes, so I'll be back then. Alright, here we are. Testing microphone. Looks like that's okay. Alright, here we are. Just gonna wait a couple extra minutes here till the scheduled time. That's okay. Partly because I'm texting to see how my mother's doing today. A slight echo. How's that? Slight echo. How's that? Is that better? Here, let me test the widgets because I'm pretty sure the notifications are what's echoing. Is that still echoing? Okay. I don't have a working headset right now, so I'm pretty sure that was my monitor audio playing back and hitting my mic. So I turned down the monitor audio. Alright, it is now 7, which means it's time to stream. Just gonna make the announcement on Blue Sky and then alright. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. This is a game that drew my attention because it looks a lot in its gameplay like the old Fire Emblem games, and I absolutely loved those as a kid. That's good to hear. Okay. So I'm gonna just play on the regular. These difficulties feel backwards to me. Mortal being easy, I would think that would be the hardest difficulty. Huh. Well, we're just gonna go with normal. It is said that in the Age of Ascension, the gods walked among mortals and mortals among gods. That a great empire spread itself thin across the known world, conquering land after land with its superior technology and magic. That the people of Terrazale came together in peace. I am probably butchering that pronunciation. Oh no, my chat's disconnecting. Little is left from that time, swept away in a deadly cataclysm known as the Calamity. Thousands of years later, all that remains of life before the Calamity are ancient temples to the gods and the divine artifacts contained therein. It is the year 1105 on the imperial calendar. Oh, that is a detailed map. Oh, there's a lot going on that map. The kingdom of Delia lies in the heart of Etlin, a nation that has long thrived off of continental trade and lush farmlands. Though peace had reigned for over 25 years, Delia's king now sets his eyes on an enemy of his own construction. Yeah, that sounds like medieval kings. They imagine an enemy, let their imagination go wild, and then declare war. Yeah, the map looks really good. There's a lot of texturing going on, and it really does feel like an old map. King Varric Valdistar assumed the throne a decade ago on the day that his father Facile was assassinated by unknown parties. To this day, Varric is convinced that the assassins were sent by the Aramoran royal family. To this day, it remains unproven. Again, that sounds a lot like medieval politics. So many wars would spring up in medieval Europe because, simply put, some lord felt insulted and decided he was going to send 1,000 troops instead of a letter. Following a minor border dispute that would normally reach a resolution painlessly, King Varric resolved to attain his revenge. After sending a covert Delian force to burn the Aramoran city of Alaris to the ground, Varric, in his thirst for revenge, have plunged his kingdom into a war it is ill prepared for. I can tell whoever wrote this plot has read quite a bit of real-world history, because, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes down. Pressed for more troops, King Varric must make hard decisions. Gee, I wonder whose fault that is. He looks now to Brookstead, the site of Delia's most prestigious officer academy. Each year, its graduating class bolsters Delia's forces, a pact and tradition that has lasted a millennium. I believe that's based off of a real-world institution that existed in medieval Europe. I believe it also inspired the Officers' Academy of Fire Emblem Three Houses. The idea was basically a military school for nobles that would teach things like mathematics and tactics, like super uncommon stuff, to the nobility, or to those sponsored by the nobility. So if, like, a nobleman had a vassal family and someone in that family showed a lot of promise in military matters, that noble might send the kid to this academy on the condition that they serve the noble after they graduate. And that's how you got a lot of elite military figures of the time, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I read up on medieval history in particular. I've kind of been on an African history tangent with that lately instead. Kind of a history nerd. I'll try not to ramble too much about it. Definitely not a professional researcher or historian. I don't have any, like, formal education, and honestly, my research is probably substandard. So take it all with a grain of salt. The young king. History is neat, and I especially love, like, the progression of technology through history, not just, like, the military stuff, but also just what people are using in their day-to-day. The young king believes the solution to his troop issues lies in a new path. He intends to recruit not only the graduate year, but every student currently enrolled. Oh no. If this is based on the historical precedent, I'm pretty sure that includes 7-year-olds. Because it was tradition in medieval Europe for a long time. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Yeah. Medieval tradition for knighthood for a long time dictated that a child who is to be a knight spends their first 7 years as a child, their next 7 years as a squire, and then the 7 years following that as a essentially knight in training. And the whole reason for that is basically a squire would maintain the knight's arms and armor, and that in that time they learn very thoroughly kind of the tools of the trade, so to speak. They learn the manners of the court, how the politics of the area work, and then when they turn 14, they've now done that for 7 years, so they're given their own, armor and sword and allowed to serve in a limited capacity. And at 21, they become fully recognized as knights to whichever lord they've been serving. So if he's recruiting every student currently enrolled in an officer academy, I'm pretty sure that includes fledgling squires. And that is terrifying and horrible. Oh god, that mage is a child. I was right. I was hoping I'd be wrong. Oh no. In quiet Brookstead, students have worked all year to stand out among their peers. I guess a child that can shoot flaming lightning. So that is where the idea of 10 years of experience for entry-level jobs comes from. That actually comes from American work culture of intentionally overachieving to improve one's odds, and that happening for long enough for corporations to come to expect it. And that's just gotten out of control now. I'm not going to get into the current politics of it, but it's oh. I see, that was a joke. My bad. Took that a little too seriously for a moment. I was a little thrown off by the literal child soldier I seem to be witnessing in the center of the screen right now. Like, I guess a child that can shoot fire and lightning at the same time, from the look of it, is better off than one you're just handing a sword and telling to have at it. But that's still a child. They are still half the height of the others around them. And I just realized there's a girl sitting up on the haystacks. Is she, considering how much this is inspired by Fire Emblem, she is either the main character and some kind of battle mage, or she is a priestess and healer. I'm guessing the guy with red hair on the right is the actual main character, as he is the only one in the scene wearing metallic armor. Though the trials can be stressful, many agree that a life of training with such clear goals is simple, enjoyable even. Probably priestess, yeah, that's my take. Considering there are 3 clear combatants on screen already, and these 4 are probably meant to be the primary core of the cast, I'm guessing that would place her in the healer role. What's interesting is one of the 2 guys with swords is... it looks like he's wearing an archer's chest plate. So why is he using a sword here? I mean, I guess archers used swords, but still. Chapter 1, Journey Afoot. This screen's a tone shift. As you can see, I did play the game a little bit, half an hour or so, just to kind of get a feel for the basic mechanics. Still couldn't tell you what exactly the plot's about. I can tell you I like the art, and sometimes Redhead here glitches out, and he suddenly has, from the shoulders up, a modern summer outfit, and I don't know what causes that, or if that's it. I don't think it's intentional. An archer should know how to sword fight just in case they get caught up in a close quarter combat fight. True, historically, it would be more likely for them to carry a hatchet or a mace, something that can really threaten a shield. Because enemies with shields are what is likely to close in on an archer. And it's a lot less expensive in terms of metal to give someone a hatchet than a sword. So you would normally see swords in the hands of, like, knights and nobles, rather than just the common soldiers, and archers were usually the commoners, because it doesn't take a lot to teach someone how to pull back and fire a bow. You know, you hand a farmer a bow, because farmers are already in pretty good shape, and say, just practice with this for 2 days, and then we march. And accuracy doesn't really matter when the whole strategy is you line up 300 of them in a block and just tell them fire generally in that direction, and enough of the arrows will hit. And that's really how most of medieval warfare happened. That and spears. Long pokey sticks and flying pokey sticks. That's really a lot of accuracy by volume, yeah. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's tailored... Oh, I think I skipped a line. I'm sure it's tailored to make our lives difficult. Looks like he is definitely an archer. It's been a few days since I played this, so I don't really remember who's who. You think he'd do that just to punish us for choosing Alden? Who's Alden? What is Alden? Is Alden a place, or is it a person? I was up at the crack of dawn hearing no son of mine should jeopardize a mission for sentiment. So Garrick is the son of whoever this authority figure they're talking about is. Well, we couldn't pick Marin without Alden, that was the deal. I think he just can't stomach the thought that his pride and joy might fail. So I'm gonna guess Marin is the priestess and Alden is the kid. His pride and joy is standing right in front of me. Ha, either way I'm right. Besides, Alden is talented even if your father doesn't see it. Why don't you try convincing the swordmaster that a 14-year-old who can't lift a training staff can best an 18-year-old graduate? Okay, so Alden isn't 7. That is good. 14 is not as bad. Still bad. There's a reason he doesn't teach conjuring. Your dad wouldn't trust a mage as far as he could throw him. Now that you mention it, I wonder how far he actually could throw Alden. I'd wager he could put a good toss on the tyke. Just casually talking about throwing the child. Betcha $5 the writer played D&D. Oh, there's Marin. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. How are you boys feeling about the big day? I'm confident we'll pass. We certainly put in the training. Yep. Of course we'll pass, but I want to break Sterling's record. Okay, Alden is the kid. I like the little sparkles around his staff. Cool the forge there, little man.
Aw, come on.
But I'm on the best team of any first year. I think what Alden is trying to say is that he really appreciates being on the team. And his smile he's just beaming after hearing that, even though he's not the one talking. The art is really nice. I can tell this game was made with a lot of love for the old school tactical genre. Good. Now I'm going to need you to focus on that appreciation, Alden. There's a lot at stake for your sister. Right. If we win, I won't have to worry about anything to worry about when Marin leaves for the army, because I'll know she's ready. Oh. Okay, so the kid's a little dense. Tactless, one might say. To be fair, that's normal for a 14-year-old.
Great.
Well, there goes the mood. Promise you'll focus today and give it everything you got, okay?
Yep.
Promise. Let's get going. Can't miss the trials standing around for a chat. If father doesn't kill me, being stuck on a team with Alden just might. So does Garrick want to be here or not? You all know the rules. All non-lethal strategies to defeat your opponents are fair game. Defeat the leader of this regiment to complete the trials. You'll all recognize him. So what immediately stands out to me here is they mentioned he's a sword master, and he's got a katana on his hip. So to some extent, Eastern weaponry exists within this setting. We're prepared for this. Alden, Garrick, stay close behind.
All right.
If any of you take hits, I'm ready to patch you up.
Fair.
Can we go already? Oh god, it's like black mages from Final Fantasy XIV. And to be clear, I mean the Black Mage class, the offense magic focused class. They tend to get really eager. And so the trials begin, with such style and grace, I might add. He seems so sarcastic. Just dripping with sincerity today, aren't we, Dad? Okay. This writing is really good. Because on a sprite and dialogue alone, I'm getting a sense of what these people are like. Oh, loading. Alright, we're playing. So from what I understand, there are 4 different weapons that correspond to 4 archetypes, and every class just has a damage type, an armor type, and a weapon of each of 4 classes. There's power, I think that's crit, accuracy and speed. And just knowing what to use and when is pretty important to not getting murdered. Let's see. Let's have Alden. Can Alden finish him off? Yeah. Alden can finish this guy off. Each character also has a passive ability, but I haven't looked too much into what all that is. Actually, let's check right now, because I should probably know. Slumbering Strength. Can't get less than 4 stats when leveling. Oh, Alden is busted. Anything that can guarantee good level ups in a Fire Emblem style game is incredible. Oh, Alden is really strong. Or he's going to be, at least. He also comes with beans. Kid's literally full of beans. Alright, Natural Leader. Allies within 2 tiles gain 5 experience when this unit defeats an enemy. Okay, so he's the main character. Healed for 40% of any heal given. So she is a focused healer. And apparently uses blunt weapons. Crits deal extra damage. Alright. Well, if she uses blunt weapons, let's go ahead and bash this guy's noggin in. What weapon should I use? I'm thinking speed. Nice. Beans, kids OP. Yeah, I'm getting that sense. Still, I'm not gonna... Usually that, in a Fire Emblem game, usually an ability like that, one, it's not a guarantee of anything, it's just increased odds of getting good level ups. And two, it's usually on some kind of melee unit. So having that on my mage is honestly pretty cool. You know what? Let's have the kids soften this target up first. So it seems like my suspicion based on Fire Emblem experience is right, and magic is good against armored targets. I've seen 4 types of armor, which you can kind of see here. Rune Cloak is one. And then each unit also has an associated damage type. You can see, yeah, plus 35 damage versus plate. So there's plate, chain, leather, and Rune Cloak. So that's what they have instead of a weapon triangle, is each damage type has different effects on different armor. Ooh, Marin's gonna fuck this guy up. I'm sorry. Need to be more careful about my language. So armored units don't like priests or mages.
Didn't give him much of a chance, huh?
I guess technically they're all armored units. I gotta refresh my chat here. There we go. The priests are just whacking each other while I'm addressing a technical issue. That said, because her passive heals her when she heals someone else, can I just do this to heal her? Yeah, okay. And
Sure?
yeah, let's have him rush this archer. And honestly, I'm thinking have the kid take out the healer. I can already tell Alden is going to be a vital asset that I cannot afford to lose. He's already pretty strong, and he has the most broken ability I've ever seen in one of these games. I'm going to pull up the chat on my phone as well, because my chat readout is not working great at the moment. There we go. So now I have it on my phone, up on my phone as well. just in case my PC keeps disconnecting the chat. Oh, you can see, like, there's people training down here. Okay. Oh, looks like we have a mage here, so I should not move him in range until I've dealt with the mage.
Together.
Okay, this should not be in range of the mage, so let's finish this archer. Level up. Oh, he has literally a 0 magic stat, so he is pure warrior. Let's heal him up. Can he just take out the mage right now? No, none of his weapons can do that. Unless he happens to get a crit with this crossbow. Nope, okay. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Okay, oh no. Might have to mulligan this one. Because the thing that sucks about losing units in this game, and if I don't, this could really screw me over in the future. Instead of losing them permanently, they get permanent stat debuffs, which is arguably worse. No, 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 no. I should not... Okay, luck reduced is not as bad as I thought it could be, so... But let's keep going along. Can you one-shot him guaranteed? I can guarantee a one-shot here, so I'm going for it. I am watching the stream, but also playing a game. That's fair. That is fair. To be honest, I'm kind of, to an extent, trying to be background content. Just because I do not have the gremlin energy required to be main monitor content in this ecosystem. Little brother, certainly you don't think you can take me on. Sterling, you're going down. Okay, typical. Let's see. Oh. Chloe Harper is now following. Hello, Chloe. We are playing Dark Deity. I have already made a stupid decision on the training level. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Hope you are doing great. I'm doing okay. I got a permanent penalty to my archer not too long ago before you joined. But he just lost a point of his luck stat, and luck is not super vital. Let's see, we are almost done with the tutorial mission. Also, I should probably weaken the main guy with my mage before I move in. I hope your streaming goes joyful for you. Thank you.
I'll take point.
It's going okay so far. Gained 1 tier 1 token. So, to my understanding, tokens are used to upgrade a character's weapons in one of the 4 categories. And I'm pretty sure that actually follows them when they change class and change weapons. Do you like to streaming on this game? It's my first time streaming this game, but yeah. I do like these kinds of old school games. And I'm trying to do a variety of content for my streaming, so I figured this would be a good one to go for my second stream. If I remember correctly, the last stream I did Oblivion Remastered just because it's pretty relevant in the gaming sphere right now. Made a very square orc. By Vosh, you've all grown. That was quite a thrill. A thrill indeed. Surprised father? Okay, so Galen is the archer's father. Congratulations, son. All of you should be very proud of what you accomplished today. You especially, Marin. Thank you, Master Galen. So he's nicer to the healer than he is to his own son. Okay. Can I play this game on PS4? I'm not sure. I got it while it was on sale on Steam. And played enough of it to know that it would make a good streaming game, and I kind of turned it off until now so I could stream it and like react to things for the first time. It might be on PS4. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it wasn't on at least one console, but it's also an indie game, and you know how hit or miss those can be with availability on different platforms. I know even if you have, like, I have a really bad laptop. Yeah, I'm playing on Steam. Even if you have a really bad laptop, this game works on my old laptop that sometimes overheats just doing Discord voice calls. This game will run on it just fine, so if you have any device that's compatible with Steam, I'm sure you can get this running. It's also not a terribly expensive game. And now that you've had your thrill, Commander, I believe some kind of explanation is in order. Of course, as I promised. Brother, friends, if you'll excuse us. Forgive me if I've hardened in my years, Sterling, but I don't expect this is a nostalgic visit. It still intrigues me, like, the variety of weapons. Yeah, I got you, and thank you for guiding me. You're welcome, Chloe. I'm glad to be of help. I'm noticing a lot of different cultural influences in the weapons and armor here. Like, Sterling here is using a pair of scimitars, and that's definitely a very kind of southern half of the Middle East kind of way of fighting, and he's got these decorative medallions across his armor, so I'm wondering if maybe he was trained elsewhere, somewhere not inspired by Europe. I'm a digital artist and I work for the streamers since 3-4 years on commission, so would you like to see my portfolio? Yeah. I've been looking at getting myself a logo for a while. My first idea for a logo turned out was close enough to an existing thing to basically guarantee copyright, so I'm back to the drawing board. But yeah, I'm definitely interested. My Instagram is Mojo. It's the same as here on Twitch. Same for my Blue Sky. I am not on Twitter, so if you see my name on Twitter, that is an imposter. I very intentionally do not use Twitter. But yeah, I am in the market for, some branding elements, I guess you could call it, and I'm all for supporting independent artists. So yeah, I am definitely down to take a look at your portfolio, see if it matches the vibe. Unfortunately not, sir. You were never one to live in the past, always onwards and upwards. So these guys are probably old military buddies. ... I never understood why games do that. Like, a whole text box is just 3 dots. Like, if they're gonna respond with silence, you can just have the other character continue talking. Tell me, how goes the war effort? At the moment, our prospects are grim. In fact, that's what brings me here. I follow you there. Can you please follow me back so I can share my work with you? Yeah, let me grab my phone and see if Instagram will let me log in. Okay. Alright, I think I have done it. It is to emphasize tension. I guess so. I guess it more confuses me because I'm used to seeing it in things like books where it really doesn't do much for the tension, and it doesn't really serve as, like, text filler either. I see. Come to size up our latest graduates? Not quite. The king plans to recruit the entire academy. Naturally, there's no finer school to supply your ranks, though I hope to see the wars end well before our youngest graduate. Actually, I'm afraid he wants them now, sir. All of them. Ah. Oh, sorry. Getting a text from my mother. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to be better about staying in touch with family lately, so... Sorry about that. Is that so? Well, I didn't think he had the gall. Tell me, Commander, what plans does our king have in mind for the initiates? Perhaps 4 together could load a catapult? You know, that's not actually a bad idea. If you're gonna take inexperienced soldiers like that, putting them on artillery crews would definitely keep them far away from the battle and leave them in relative safety. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty smart. I wish I could say. Always a man of duty. The king is foolish to sever the pact. His father would not have heard of it. Facile was a good man. With all due respect, sir, what better way to avenge his father than to join the ranks of those bringing justice to Aramor? Guard your suspicions, Commander, and do not speak so eagerly of war. If the king wishes it, he shall have his soldiers. I only hope you, of all people, understand the gravity of this decision. So we got the loyal soldier and the pragmatic tactician. All too well. Oh, right. Both of them have have family in the academy, so they're watching their own blood go to war possibly before they're ready. Which, oh, that is heavy. This graduating class is one of the finest cohorts I've had the pleasure of teaching in my decade as headmaster. At every opportunity, you have shown the resolve and dedication that allows Brookstead to endure, and I have every confidence that the classes to follow would do the same.
Listen up.
I regret that I must conclude this graduation ceremony with grim news. We've received orders from King Varric himself. I like how every sprite, except for the main cast, are the same person here. Like, we've seen other generic sprites, but they just decided, whatever, copy-paste. Every student enrolled at Brookstead Academy is to be conscripted into the Delian army, effective immediately. I understand for most of you, graduation felt a lifetime away. I stood where you did once, and I know how you must feel. Is he implying that this happened when he was in the academy? Is my chat not working again? Okay, yeah, for some reason my computer is having a hard time keeping chat active off to the side. That's why I have my phone over there. At the conclusion of this speech, you will all be graduates of Brookstead Academy. Outside these walls, you will be expected to exemplify our honor and our code. Life taken much from us, but yet Brookstead still stands. Maybe that, or he was quickly tossed into war. I mean, given what the writer has shown already of their understanding of how wars tended to break out in medieval Europe, I would not doubt it. People were always getting thrown into wars they were not prepared for back then. Oh. Hello.
Hi, don't mind me. Literally don't. Bye.
I'm told you have 3 hours to prepare. Let Terrazale know that there's nothing that can stain the legacy of our town. I mean, I feel like conscripting the entire academy is a stain on the town's legacy, but okay. Not quite the homecoming you imagined, I take it.
How is this fair?
How could the king do this? Irving's just like, what the heck, man? I send you my work there, just check it out and give feedback on Instagram. Yeah, I'll check it out as soon as the stream's done. When I can give it my full attention. Easily, it would seem. He cares not for convention, regardless of its legacy or importance. Oh. Hello, Tyrzak. Yeah, you only missed the tutorial mission and my initial screw-up. The archer lost a point of luck because of how this game handles units going down. It seems he'll stop at nothing to avenge his father. Ah, where are my manners? Allow me to introduce Lincoln and Bianca. They are the leaders of this conscription tour as well as good friends. Nice to meet you. Sterling's told us a lot about all of you. Okay, so we got a Valkyrie and looks like another priest. I don't know if her class is Valkyrie. She's just wearing the Valkyrie outfit. I thought you occupied the highest military rank in Delia. Why wouldn't you be heading the operation? I must return to Sojourn. I only came because the king had sent anyone else. Galen might have beheaded them. You didn't come to see us? It's wonderful to see you, but I'm not afforded such luxuries in wartime. You're leaving then? I'm afraid so. I'll see you when you arrive in Sojourn. I can make excuses there to take a few hours off. Ill news aside, I'm glad you came. Oh, Lord, why is... Okay, my viewer count was not updating for a moment there, and it was confusing me. I can't put into words how much even this flawed trip meant to me. I really should be going, but you can trust Bianca and Lincoln with anything. And Irving, be sure to see your mother before you go. I will. See you in Sojourn. Not what I expected his mother to look like. She's very ordinary for a Fire Emblem character. I'm glad you're home. How did the trials go? We did quite well. Sterling was there, actually. Was he? And too busy to stop by and say hello to his mother, I imagine. In fairness, he wasn't there for long, and not with great news either. Mother, Oh, I know. Barracks recruited the academy. Yeah, I guess she is kind of cute. I can see the family resemblance. How did you find out already? Word spreads fast in a place like this. I heard it from the town crier on the way back from the market. Oh, she is carrying a bag of plants. Well, then I guess you know I'll be leaving. Oh, Irving, I've already given one of my sons to Varric's War. Is it ever enough? We knew this day would come when I entered the academy. Of course, but not so soon. Well, I suppose it's never easy. You must take care of yourself on the road, and your friends. I'll be fine, Mother. I'm just gonna be taking all the damage for everybody. He is the tank. With all the effort the king's putting into the war, it'll be over before you know it, and I'll be right back in Brookstead. War is rarely so simple in my experience, but I hope you're right. I'll miss you terribly, you know. I know. I'll miss you too. Well, I'll grab my things. Right, before you go, let me prepare some provisions. I'll leave them on the kitchen table. Oh, and don't forget your running shoes. After passing the Brookstead trials, a day of celebration becomes one of separation for many. Having expected to graduate in due time, the Academy students now must quickly say goodbye to their families. Sterling heads back to Sojourn, leaving the contingent in the care of Lincoln and Bianca. The contingent heads for Duskwater, a backwater town to the southeast. Wait, but that's away from Sojourn according to this map. Like the opposite direction almost. Didn't they say they were headed to Sojourn? Huh. Lincoln hopes to fill the rest of their recruiting quota there. Okay. Wouldn't it make more sense to stop at, like, High Ridge on the way? Or at least, or maybe Canopy according to this map? Good man, your service to the crown will bring your family honor. Now, it would seem our charter requires 2 more brave souls. Come, good people, your king has called. Who has answered? Or who will answer? I'm gonna guess the two people that do not have generic headband models are gonna be new units for me. I've got 4 mouths to feed. Aaron's not old enough to look after the farm. My leg's not what it used to be, though I suppose I have a few good years left in me. I like that the old lady of all people is the one with the stones to volunteer for the army. Should I do it, Eli? I wager I'd look good with a big ol' hammer. She looks like a rogue. Choose your next words carefully, Sia. You have a good wife here. He wears more armor than my tank. Willing service brings more honor than forced conscription. I pray it doesn't come to that.
Fine by me.
Don't know much about honor, but I can smell adventure when I see it. Sign me up, Captain. She takes nothing seriously. And I with her. So he's the one who's left cleaning up her messes. Fortune favors us today. I thank you both for your courage. Just one catch. I gotta swing by the tavern and let the matron know I'll be taking a long vacation. Wouldn't want her to find out the hard way she's out her favorite barmaid. Very well. Irving, take your friends and accompany our newest recruits to the tavern. Bianca and I will finish up here. Secure what provisions you can. We have a long road ahead of us. Yes, sir. Just gotta grab my things from upstairs. Be down before you can say you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Oh, she knows what she's doing. Alright. You prefer to travel light? Excessive equipment is an occupational hazard. Name's Elias, by the way. The two of you got a lot of guts signing up like you did. He says excessive equipment is a hazard, but he's wearing the most armor of anyone here. The two of you got a lot of guts signing up like you did. Two of us, right. Try overwhelming bravado and a lack of brains from my impressionable friend. I would never let her do this sort of thing alone.
No kidding.
So he's pretty sure she's going to get herself killed without him. Okay. To be honest with you, Elias, it sounds like anyone would have an impossible time trying to stop her. I wish that weren't true. You've never met a barmaid so bullheaded. Oh, I think I have. Bandits in the streets. They're headed for the inn. Black Abyss, we just left home and we're already in the thick of it. Where's that new recruit? I said I'd be ready. Good, prepare yourselves. Looks like we'll see combat sooner than we thought. We'll have to hold out until Lincoln and Bianca can get to us. So probably a survival mission then? Let's see. Okay, this is gonna be... Oh no. I get the sense this is gonna be kind of rough. Okay, use the Adept's chain ability to keep the archer from moving for now. That is a lot of dudes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just need to survive for now. Let's see, arcane missiles, beam, force. Let's hit this guy with arcane blast. Oh, he's dual wielding. I guess that should be obvious from the sprite. If I have her attack the archer right now, that's not going to go well. Can he finish this guy off? Yes, and he can guarantee it if I use the longbow. And then I can... Yeah, that's less dangerous for her. Oh, but she can also disarm, so if I do... If I disarm this guy, then he can't counterattack, right?
I'll take point.
Yeah, so I can hit him, and he can't really do anything to me, because he's been disarmed. Level up! My warrior's starting to pull ahead of the others, so I should probably make sure the others are actually getting experience here. Let's see. Pickaxe, mace, flail. Yeah, let's just hit him with a hammer. Bonk. It's funny just seeing someone... It's funny just seeing a healer run up and bash someone over the head. Well, that was stupid of him.
My thanks.
Gained 1 tier 1 token. Ow. Ow. Okay, who needs the healing more right now? I think my rogue needs the healing a bit more at the moment. Let's
How can I help?
get the healer behind my lines.
My
Decent
hard
level
work
up.
is paying off.
Okay. Can he finish off this archer? Yeah. Just about finish him off.
You have my thanks.
Let's see. My new unit, he starts at level 3, she's level 2. But if I put her there... Okay, she's just out of range of all the enemy units if I put her right here.
Be careful. I won't lose you.
Okay. And from here, it's probably best to... It's probably honestly best to just end the turn and let the enemies approach me at the moment, since this is a defensive mission. Because if I go on the offensive there, I'm just going to get my units ganged up on. Okay,
This should be fun.
he should be able to attack from over the fence, like this. Oh, this guy's dodgy, so I guess I'm using the longbow for the added accuracy. Level up!
Proudly meeting expectations.
There's his point of luck back. Let's see, just in case, let's have her heal him.
Stay with me.
I think Sterling... You know what? I should not go too gung-ho here. These guys, Elias and Irving, seem to be my tanky units. So let's see if I can't pull a battle of 300 here and minimize the enemy's ability to overwhelm me. Oh, that was... He just gave me a handful of free experience with that, with no... They're just... What? They're attacking people they can't hurt. Are these guys just that weak, so they're just going for whoever? I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain about free experience, but still... It is a little confusing. 100% hit, 0 damage is one of the funniest things in these games. Don't stop the enemy when they make mistakes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth here. Yeah, let's just hit it with Arcane Blast at the moment. Let's see. Nobody really needs healing at the moment. Let's see, she's really dodgy, so I bet she can... Oh! With her crit weapon, she gets a 20% base crit rate. Okay. So she's going to be my crit machine. They may be programmed to prioritize accuracy over damage, maybe? That would make sense. Okay.
Together.
Yeah, so let's try to finish this guy off in one go there.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I don't really have a way to reliably finish this guy off, but it's also very little risk to me to attack him.
How can I help?
And I guess I'll just go ahead and
Stay with me.
pop a heal for the free experience. Okay, yeah, they're definitely going to prioritize accuracy because he could actually hurt the spear guy, but he had like 6% less accuracy attacking him.
Fine by me.
Ooh, my units are getting some good level ups right now. My rogue is kind of at risk at the moment, though. Yeah, rogue needs healing, like now. Turn 5, survive for 7 turns, so I only need to last for another couple turns here. Heal. Okay, instead of... I think I'm going to have her just disarm this guy.
You dropped something.
Put him here. I'm just trying to make sure they can't, like, go around and surround or surround me or flank my squishier units. And if I... Oh, if I do this to lock down his movement, not only can he not shoot at people as easily, he becomes an obstacle for his buddies. And with a speed weapon, the mage can finish off this guy at close range. Okay, this mission's going pretty well, I think. Let's have my archer just take a shot at this guy. Longbow again, because these guys have high evasion. So if I'm understanding correctly, there's only one more turn I have to survive here. So I think I've pretty much won this one. I just need to not take unnecessary risks. It's tempting to go on the offensive right now to try and maximize experience gain, but I feel like that's going to backfire very quickly. Yeah, let's... Okay, so he does that.
At your disposal.
I think keeping this guy from moving is going to be the best thing to do for the moment. This does expose Alden to counterattack from the archer, but this way the horse archer can't... Oh, critical hit. Okay, we're good. This way the horse archer, since he can't close the distance, can't shoot Alden either on the following turn.
I've got a lot to learn.
Whew. Yeah, Alden's going to be a beast of a unit. Sorry if the running commentary on my thought process here is boring. I'm just not sure what else to say while I'm going about this. Alright, I think my defensive positioning right now is pretty good, honestly. Little worried about the archers ganging up on the rogue. But I also don't think the risk is too big. Because she survived the first time and she's starting this at full health. Okay. Oh, Witch Hunter is the name of the horse archer class here. Commentary of tactical thought process is pretty much what you want in turn-based tactics stream, I think. That is fair, actually. When you put it that way, yeah, that makes sense. So I guess since it can't counterattack, I'll just do this, hoping for a crit to soften him up.
Lead the way.
Just in case the archers gang up on her again, let's get some healing going.
My hard work is paying off.
Okay, I don't think I've had a bad level up yet, which is fortunate. I do like that they decided to go for a tactical mission after the tutorial like this. In that it gets the player used to varying victory conditions pretty quickly. Oh.
Such is your fate.
I got another stream notification, but I didn't see what it was. Oh wait, can't I view, like... Someone said something before about mod view for so I can see notifications? Okay, I guess there wasn't anything. Okay, and honestly, probably just leave my armor dude right where he is. Because what's important right now is not to take out as many units as possible, it's to not expose my units to unnecessary danger. And the trick is to, with that, is really to be aware of the enemy's range of movement and keep them from going around you if you can't hold the entire choke point reliably. Turn 8. Alright, I have survived for 7 turns.
What would you do without
I have received more weapon tokens. Looks like Garrick was my MVP, which I guess makes sense. He can attack without risk, pretty much. Irving, damage taken 0, even though he was attacked more than anybody else. He also moved the least. Peak tank gameplay. There, by the tavern. Oh, hey, you're here. Glad to see you all in one piece. How did you fare? Pretty good, honestly. Splendidly. You may be surprised to learn this isn't the first time I've stepped out of a tavern and into a skirmish. No, Garrick. No, I am not. Not even a little bit. Dark Deity actually does have a sequel, so if I end up playing through this whole game on streams, there is a sequel to dive into after that, so who knows, maybe that'll happen in the future. That was hairier than I expected.
Indeed.
Yes, no fine academy or drunken brawl can fully prepare one for the perils of battle. I don't know, man, Irving seemed fine. Still, I was glad to have our new recruits with us. They both held their own. Okay, yes, they very much did. Ooh, negative comment I have is that the tanks aren't as satisfying as the GBA FE games. Tanks? Oh, when they hit and do no damage? Oh, yeah, I can see that. It's less like... it kind of goes both ways for me, because at the same time, those always kind of jolted me out of the moment back then. And the gentler sound kind of keeps the flow of things a little better, in my opinion. But I can see that being a negative point for some. I can see the reasons for doing it both ways, basically, is what I'm saying. Based on the charred bandits, I'd assume one of them is an adept, or else an incredibly skilled mage. Okay, I'm gonna give this context outright, because the game doesn't explicitly say it for a long time, and not until well after the player is presented with all the information to figure it out themselves. Namely, the fact that when the adept classes up, they turn into elemental specialists. I guess that's fair, especially with how early you can get tanks. In Fire Emblem, it's more of a mid to late game thing. Yeah, I think that has more to do with how they did away with a weapon triangle in favor of 4 weapon archetypes that all characters have on them at all times. Because 3 of those weapon archetypes are not raw damage focused. There's power weapons, which just have higher base damage. Crit weapons, which trade damage for critical chance. Accuracy weapons, which trade everything for the ability to actually hit an evasive target. And speed weapons, which have a higher chance of attacking twice. when you have 3 out of 4 enemies likely using non-power focused weapons, you're going to be having low damage numbers a lot more often. Yeah, it is cool. And there's 4 armor types as well. I touched on this a bit earlier in the stream. But every unit has an associated damage output type, so all their weapons do a specific damage type. And every damage type interacts with each of the 4 armor types in different ways. I believe there's one that does 35% more damage to... It'll either do 35% more damage to one armor, 5% more damage to one armor, 5% less damage to one armor, and 35% less damage to one armor. So your unit's damage type and the enemy's armor type ends up mattering a bit more than something of a weapon triangle. And you can view that information at any time when you're playing the game, so it's not like you have to memorize a chart or anything. So adepts are basically Dungeons and Dragons sorcerers where they have innate magic that they can use, and they're kind of persecuted for it within the world of the game. The default adept class is spear wielders, but only one of the adepts 4 progressions uses a spear going forward. And they don't tell you that until well after you have upgraded your adepts to take on those elemental specializations, is why I'm telling you this now. They don't really elaborate on adepts beyond that for a long while. Except for this one conversation. So they reference charred bodies here, so I'm pretty sure Elias, the first adept we get, is intended to go down the fire specialist path. And Bianca's very obviously designed after Valkyrie's, so I'm pretty sure she's meant to keep her spear on the wind path. So that's probably what I'm going to do for the purposes of this playthrough, just to kind of keep things visually thematic. Like to ship me back to Nule for purification, would you? I love how ominous this line is with no context. Like, they've given us nothing to work with except the fact that adepts exist. This line, the fact that they capitalize purification, gives it such an ominous tone, and that is just fantastic writing. One capital letter changes the entire context of this sentence, and I love that. I think this was the line that convinced me that this game would be really good. Just the fact that they established so much expectation with a single capitalized letter.
Not even.
Ha, that would spell the end for us both, I'm afraid. Some say it takes one to know one. Oh, right, adepts can also sense magic. They don't explicitly say that for a while either, but they're constantly referencing basically a spider sense. Ah, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised to find a fellow adept in an army. That's where our talents inspire the least superstition I've found, so long as you're standing under the right banner. You know, that is how it would unfold in the real world historically, huh? If you have crazy powers, you're either a witch or a military asset. Who were those guys anyway? And now Marin asks the right question. Ah, the level-headed healer. Were those the Aramorans we're supposed to fight? No, Alden. Someone came into the tavern screaming, bandits. That was not an army. I'm gonna cut him some slack, he's 14.
No.
Ha, believe me, that would not have ended so quickly or so neatly were we up against the forces of Aramor. No, bandits more likely. I like Lincoln's, Templar-esque armor. I don't know why, but something about it contrasts him so much with the rest of the cast. Like, the muted colors. His color scheme kind of reminds me of Birds of Prey, actually. Like an eagle or a falcon. Huh, we've had trouble with bandits these past few months, but for the last week or so, things have been quiet. Maybe they're gearing up for something big like this? These bandits you speak of, do you know where their base of operations is? Not exactly, but I know they used to ambush folks by the northeast crossroads. Lincoln looms really neat. I'm sure that was meant to be looks, but looms is entirely accurate. He looms really well with his imposing sprite. That is a perfect description. Not exactly, but I know they used to ambush folks by the northeast crossroads. Had to patch up a couple travelers when they came through bleeding like a summer pig. Is that a saying? That isn't an expression, Sia. Okay, no, she's just talking. That's just a day's trip north from here, correct? Oh, the chat delay. Is my voice syncing up with the words actually being on screen okay? I'm not reading them before they pop up, are they? I read very fast, so I don't want to be jumping the gun. Considering nobody is complaining about a desync, I guess the silence means it's fine. It's hard to know how bad the delay is on my end. That's just a day's trip north of here, correct? I haven't noticed anything odd. Okay, so my voice is delayed by the same amount as the text on screen. Just about. You don't look like you move too fast, though, so don't hoist me to the gallows if I'm off by an hour. I am not gonna lie, I took my headphones out and missed the question. I was asking if my reading of the text on screen is desynced from the text actually appearing or not, because I looked over at the chat on my phone and realized I was just seeing the text I just read out loud appearing on the screen, and that made me remember that the delay for the voice and the video might be a bit different. Oh no, seems fine for me also. Okay, cool. The reason I'm reading all this out loud is essentially for... I mentioned earlier, but I am kind of gearing my content more towards, you know, secondary monitor content, I guess you would call it. Just because I know I don't have the gremlin energy required to be main monitor entertainment. So I'm just going to be your chill buddy to be around for whatever you're doing in the background. Same reason I'm uploading the full VODs to YouTube. Just, if you want some background noise, hi, I'll be your buddy for the evening. Who's slamming the door? Alright. Anyways. Lincoln, the sun's already low in the sky, and Varric's not one to overlook a delay. We just recruited the town's best fighters. I won't leave them defenseless and at the mercy of some ruffians. Lincoln is not having any of this military pragmatism shit. He's like, no, we're not taking all of their fighters and leaving with bandits still there. Are you insane? What about the other recruits? I'll send them on ahead. If they at least make good time to sojourn, Varric might be more understanding. Let's be off. Best we reach their camp before they catch wind of what transpired here. You know, not gonna lie, Lincoln has the look of a character I would normally distrust in a game like this. Like, he almost looks like somebody that you're meant to trust to be betrayed by later. But all of his actions have been nothing but altruistic, and even against the strict, like, letter of his duty, he's making sure that morality is taken into account in his commands. He doesn't take unnecessary risks, he doesn't leave loose ends, and he doesn't deprioritize being a decent person with his authority. So from what I've seen so far, I am inclined to trust Lincoln. Yeah, he looks like a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think it's the hair. It is. He has the villain's hair and chin, like the pointed chin and long hair. And maybe that's just because I grew up with 90s games, because that was a big thing. Like, Sephiroth has the same kind of thing going on with the narrow face and long hair. But honestly, like, the feeling I get from him is less wolf in sheep's clothing and more... It's kind of the dignified look of a bird of prey. Like, something about his eyes, partially, I think. It reminds me of, like, when you see an eagle or a falcon just perched somewhere looking out over things. He kinda has that look about him, like he's got his eyes on the bigger picture in front of him. That kind of overhead view kind of deal. Also, I like that, on his tabard, the armor he's wearing, you can see that under the fabric, the metal plate is sticking out on his chest. Which tells me he's someone who cares about his appearance, but more than anything, his outfit is practical and built for war. I can tell you one thing, the townsfolk will be glad to get rid of these thugs. The character design in this game is just absolutely on point, honestly. I might go so far as to say they do Fire Emblem character design better than most Fire Emblem games. Definitely better than the ones I've played. Because these designs just convey, with about the same level of detail, they convey so much more personality. While keeping to the same classic fantasy Fire Emblem character tropes. And that's the kind of thing that only comes from, you know, a real love of what you're making. So I just wanted to shine a little spotlight on that aspect of the game real quick. Chapter 3, Springing the Trap. Alright, so this is as far as I played previously. So this is new content from here. In Duskwater, Lincoln and Bianca find enough willing recruits to fill their requirements. Irving and his friends are sent to escort one of the final recruits, Sia, as she gathers her things. While they wait in the inn, a fierce assault from bandits comes over the town. The four from Brookstead, along with new friends Sia and Elias, hold the bandits off from the inn. My apologies. Now they plan to follow the trail to ambush the bandits on their own ground. This group had been troubling Duskwater for months, and in Lincoln's eyes, there is no question that something must be done. We'll need to make camp for the night. No sense laying an ambush coming straight from a fight.
No kidding.
See, that's what I mean. Like, he is pragmatic, even though it's causing delays that he knows is going to get him in trouble. Couldn't agree more. I have some weapon maintenance I need to take care of as well. Always rushing off to your next errand, Irving. I'm looking forward to kicking back and having a nice rest before we plunge into mortal peril again. I'll catch up with you. It won't take long to get my weapons situated. Irving, I'll be around if you need help. Garrick, don't come by my tent to pester me with useless questions. So Lincoln already knows what both of these guys are about. He's already got a good read on these two.
Hardly.
Useless? Just because you don't see the use doesn't mean there isn't one. As your commanding officer, that's exactly what it means. I don't have the patience for it tonight. He is already done with Garrick's shit. I don't mean to swear, but that is just really funny to me. Oh my god. Oh, alright. I'll go pester Sia or Elias instead. You do that. Ooh, bond conversations. A staple of Fire Emblem games. You should be very proud of your patriotism, Sia. Irving. Irving, my guy, you are not a good judge of character. Oh my god. That is the least accurate thing anybody has said about another character in this game so far. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You seemed quite eager to enlist. I was the same way when I joined the academy. Oh, Irving, you're always trying to see the best in people, aren't you? I'm eager to get out of Duskwater, I can tell you that. Really? I didn't see anything wrong with it. And you were there how long? Maybe a couple of hours. Yeah, and you were already attacked by bandits. Oh, I'm starting to get the feeling that Irving is a bit of a meathead. We were. That happens often then. Not usually, but when it's not bandits, it's something else. And you know what Duskwater never is? What's that? A tourist destination.
No kidding.
Ah, I see. With the exception of recruitment tours, of course. That's right. When a war gets desperate enough, the crown reaches its hand into Duskwater. Well, you've certainly put it behind you now, but the road ahead promises both change and challenge.
Fine by me.
I like a good challenge. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the voice line that played there is just her going, "Fine by me." She is excited to have both of those things. Honestly, I can relate. I get bored if I fall too steadily into a routine. Then you'll be good to have around. I always am. She doesn't lack for confidence. You made a noble choice to serve your people, Elias. Irving. You just went through this, dude. So he's not, he doesn't have Lincoln's aptitude for gauging people, I see.
I'd rather not.
Interesting you should say that. I don't feel as though I had much of a choice at all. Was Lincoln's speech so compelling? No, and no need to tell him I said that, but after everything I'd seen Sia through, I couldn't watch her get thrown to the dogs at the whim of some king. So he's been through some things with the rogue. Or I guess the rogues put him through some things is probably a bit more accurate. Ah, I understand. But yours is a different story, I imagine. Yes, it was a lifelong dream of mine to serve the crown, like my brother before me. I see. Have you been at this for a while, then?
Quite.
Real combat? No, not any longer than you. Oh, that's promising news. I have trained, though, quite extensively. And Lincoln and Bianca are experienced themselves. We're likely in the best of hands as far as new recruits go. So he's an optimist, he's a meathead, he takes no damage from anything. Irving is the himbo of the cast. I'm calling it now. Whatever. I like a good himbo in a character. Keeps things funny. If that's true, that's a comfort.
Don't worry.
One thing I wouldn't do is intentionally lie to you about something like that, Elias. Irving, I'm not sure you would lie about anything. I'll trust your word on that. So Elias is a pretty closed-off guy, it seems. Which, considering the implied persecution, Irving is a himbro. Yeah, he is. Like, he's the kind of guy that I would love to have with me at the gym. Yeah, Elias strikes me as the kind of guy who's probably carrying around more trauma than he lets on. Considering the implied persecution of adepts, it's probably got to do with that. What does Irving have to say about Alden? Mage Kid. You've come a long way since I last stumbled into you and Marin in the sparring fields. Well done, Alden. One more thing about character design. I feel like Alden's character design was the first of the cast, in a sense, because it kind of feels like he has the strongest fundamentals of the design elements pervasive in the cast. But my favorite thing about the design is simply that red and white diamond on the hat. It just visually breaks up what would otherwise be a fairly uninteresting aspect. Thanks, I've been training a lot. I'm sure you have. There's no shortcut to excellence. Well, you can always get lucky.
It's not that
And you can just as easily get unlucky. It's better to not rely on luck.
Are you sure?
Seems to work alright for Garrick. He got less lucky recently, though. Ha! He'd have you believe that, but trust me, it doesn't work as well as it seems. We definitely got lucky getting assigned to Sterling like that.
No kidding.
I'm with you there. That was unexpected. So he didn't even tell you he was coming? Nope, I was completely surprised. It's a shame he couldn't stay with us longer. Yeah, I can't believe we actually beat him. There should be some kind of award for that.
Quite.
Well, we had an advantage in numbers, don't forget. What about all the other challengers? They were hardly comparable to Sterling. I guess that's true. Besides, I'm sure he had to suspend all of his non-lethal tactics. That's probably all he was learning in the army. So you don't think I could have beaten him? Alden, you're 14! You mean if it were just the two of you?
Yep.
Yeah, just us. Ha! Alden, I'll never accuse you of setting unambitious goals. With some more training, possibly. Perhaps you could have beaten him. Supportive and diplomatic answer. Now, keep at it until I'm strong enough to make history myself. Can't go wrong with that. I get the sense that these two have more history than they let on. Although Irving did just mention he ran into Alden and Marin at the same time. This is all so strange, Irving. Every time I think back to the last days in Brookstead, it feels like a dream. Oh, I know that feeling. That period when you jump into some new big lifestyle change and it hasn't really set in that it's real yet. I'm a bit surprised to hear you say that. Between the four of us, at least you were expecting to graduate. So she's the oldest of the lot. I guess that explains her apparent maturity.
I don't know.
Emotional maturity, chat, before you start saying anything. She's the most level-headed of the cast we have seen so far. Yeah, but not like this. I've never seen Master Galen that distraught before. He's usually so composed, like he's perfectly in control. I wasn't gonna say anything. Fair enough, Tyrazak, but, you gotta remember, this is going on YouTube, too, so I'm partially addressing the comments. Just putting out fires before they start. Don't mind me, just backspacing nothing. Oh, don't worry, Gremlini. Until you said that, I had no indication that you were typing. I don't get notifications like that on my end. I will say Marin has a very cute design. I love the color palette. Like the violet and blue contrasted against white and cyan. Very nice. I just love her design. Oh, and the gold accents. That's the nature of war. It strips even the powerful of their control. She reminds me of Fire Emblem 7 Florina, who was easily my favorite character as a kid. You know what? Let me look that up real quick. Because now I'm curious. The lack of head pats she is receiving is alarming. I don't know if they have, that kind of animation in the game. FE7 Florina. Oh, the Pegasus Knight. Yeah, Pegasus Knights always have some really nice designs in Fire Emblem. She deserves head pats. Yeah, I guess I can see that sentiment. Whenever someone talks about head pats for a fictional character, what comes to mind is immediately the voice clip of Freeren from that one anime, just saying, "My head is not for patting." That's just the immediate thing that comes to mind. He's the one who taught it to us in the first place. I think he's learning the lesson again himself. That may be. At least I don't have to wait another year for you and Garrick to catch up to me, and I know you've been eager to get out there ever since you enrolled. Seems like you're getting your wish.
No kidding.
I'm definitely looking forward to stepping onto the stage and making an actual impact. I've spent my entire life up to now in the audience. I know the feeling, Irving. I know the feeling. Trust me when I say, when you get older, it becomes less about making a splash and more about other aspects of living. That's called having a childhood, Irving. Well, I guess some people are just born to do certain things. I'm grateful for the chance to live out my calling. The innocence of youth.
It'll be all right.
I know you'll make the Academy proud, and your family, though I'll admit your brother set the bar pretty high. All the more reason not to take my eyes off of it for a moment. Ambition has its place, don't forget. It doesn't hurt to take a look at your surroundings now and then. As long as it doesn't slow me down. She is telling you to slow down, you meathead. I think you could afford to slow down a little. Exactly. Exactly. Attitudes like his are what get you filled with arrows during the first charge on a battlefield. By my standards, I'm still not moving fast enough. Irving, chill the heck out. You're 18, man. Even by medieval standards, you got 3 decades ahead of you.
You really think so?
Oh well, maybe you'll understand what I mean someday. Yeah. I feel your pain, Marin. I feel your pain. Marin is immediately the most the most relatable character to me. When I'm your age, perhaps, so in about a year? You might be surprised, Irving. A lot can happen in a year. I sympathize with the headaches Marin must be getting. Never mind head pats, she needs ibuprofen. See, Garrick, I did tell you we'd pass our trials. And with flying colors too, though I don't remember you mentioning anything about skipping a grade. Ha! Even your father was surprised by that. That will take some adjusting for him, relinquishing control over his little corner of the world. Well, don't think our early graduation excuses your debts. You still owe me a meal and a cold drink at King's Cornucopia. Why not both? Why not both? The reason this line is funny to me is there is a restaurant called Cornucopia around here, and it is expensive, and it's implied to be much the same within this world. Oh, I could really go for some rockfish from Cornucopia, though. I wonder if it's in season. I'll have to look at that after next paycheck. I'm genuinely unsure if you're saying that because you're a man of your word or exceedingly cheap. Are those mutually exclusive? So he admits it. These two are good friends. It doesn't seem like it.
What a joke.
King's Cornucopia. That place is so garish. Couldn't you have chosen, I don't know, literally anywhere else? You just don't want to see Claudia again. Yes, and I'm sure you find it quite amusing to watch me order a drink with my eyes fixed on my feet. I didn't say that. No, but you were thinking it. Claudia, I suppose she'll be staying behind in Brookstead after all. Business will be down. I hope she fares alright. With how much this guy is implied to be a womanizer, it seems there's at least one woman he cares about even though he never sees her. Sounds like you're learning to show a little empathy.
Hardly.
Rest assured, I'm as incapable of that as ever. These two are both very aware of their flaws, it seems. Garrick, the cold-blooded sharpshooter. I can hardly say it without trembling. That's me. You know, with all the chaos of our hasty recruitment, I'm quite glad we ended up in the same battle group. I'd die of boredom otherwise. Now at least I'll get to die of something interesting. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not. The line is getting blurred.
Don't worry.
But not anytime soon, if I can help it. Then let's hope you can't, my friend. Wouldn't be the first time I've saved your life. Careful now, that's a river that runs both ways. I wasn't aware rivers did that. This one does. I guess that's the end of that. Let's see what the history between these two is like a little more. Here we are, Eli, on a grand adventure together like I always said we would be. First, your version of always has a rather short definition. Second, this grand adventure came on a whim of yours, like everything else we do. Okay, let's do what you want to do then, if this is such a burden. Let me think about that. Maybe it would help if we weren't dedicated to a cause from which we might be executed for abandoning.
Bummer.
See? No good ideas, ever. That's why I make the decisions on what we do. See ya. What? How does that logic follow? I think that's probably a massive oversimplification, but we can roll with it if you want.
This is fun.
Yay, I get what I want. Was it ever in question? Of course not. Really, though, if you want to dodge out and make a run for Carmont, I'm all in. I don't want to drag you into something you're uncomfortable with. Lady, you already did. Oh, give it up. It's fine. Just wish we had discussed it beforehand. Well, next time I feel like I'm going to make a ridiculously compulsive decision, do you think I should ask you first? You could be my emotional touchstone. Do I think you should ask me first? Do you ever listen to yourself? You're just ridiculous. So, that's a yes, right? Yes, of course I think that. Maybe then we wouldn't be stuck fighting in an unjust war for a nation we care nothing for. So neither of these two are particularly loyal, at least they don't pretend to be. Hey now, watch the use of we here. I grew up in Delia. You grew up in Duskwater. The King of Delia never gave the slightest rift for you, your family, or your town. Well, pardon me for sticking by centuries-old cultural traditions of identifying with the place I live. Very funny. Oh. I heard a notification? I don't see a notification, though. Huh. Oh, one moment. I can't tell if they actually care for each other or despise each other. One moment, I'm just responding to something on Discord. I do think they genuinely care for each other, because keep in mind, Elias could have walked away and he enlisted in the military regardless, and he just said that they haven't actually known each other for that long. So clearly they care for each other. Okay, yeah. Sorry, someone sent me a rather sincere message that I felt it appropriate to respond to immediately there. He could just have too strong of a conscience to let her get herself killed, but fair enough. I mean, he was just talking about really having no loyalty to the country, and he seems to have some kind of issues under the surface. It seems more like... He also said right at the start of the defense mission that right after the defense mission, that he spent most of his time traveling prior to being in Duskwater. So my guess is he's really more the sort to duck out and, start over in a new town when anything gets rough. That's just my read on him. But something about Sia compelled him to stay and essentially adopt responsibility for her safety. And I'm sure there's some key event to that we haven't been told yet. But there's definitely more to these two than we have so far been told. So I'm hesitant to speculate any further than that. Oh, these two are going to be entertaining. So you're the one who knows how to have fun around here, huh? You could say that, although count me out if your definition of fun is enlisting in the army on a whim. You know what, Garrick? Entirely valid.
Bummer.
Boo! You know what, Sia? Also entirely valid.
Right.
Really? You can't act like this is the most fun you've ever had. Who let this guy on stage? Boo! I cannot comprehend this girl. I cannot understand what is going through her head. What do you expect? You pull my arm and I tell a funny joke? I'm trying to relax here.
Oh, come on.
Come here then. I'm gonna pull your arm. That wasn't an invitation, Sia. I go places I'm not invited all the time. It's fun. Guess that's one thing we have in common. Maybe let's keep it at one, huh? Alright, spill the beans, mister. Why are you so hesitant to be friends with me? Have you considered that you're just not as fun as you think you are? Yikes. Garrick. Chill. Uncalled for, man. Like, you just knowingly escalated the situation. Why? Nope, you're hiding something, and I want to know what it is. Tell me. Oh, jeez, is that Lincoln telling us we need to get along? Or, sorry, to get going? A shame, I was really enjoying this conversation. Man has no chill. His problem is that he has all the chill, and then suddenly no chill, at seemingly random times. Like, he's got no sense of urgency, and also a sharp tongue. And that is just an abrasive set of traits if he's put in the wrong scenario. Hold it right there.
Aren't you clever?
Tell me. Does it not bother you that everyone expects us to be friends? I don't want everyone to just think of me as the carefree one.
Really?
No, it doesn't bother me. Maybe you should do less worrying about what other people think and more scheming with me on how to liven this retinue up. Good luck getting Lincoln to experience emotion. I think it's out of my range. Oh, we'll get him alright. I have a plan. No. I'm calling shenanigans here. Sia, you do not have a plan. You never have a plan. I guarantee that right now. What does Marin have to say about our closed-off adept? Hey, Elias, what have you got there? Oh, hi, Marin. I'm just whittling. It's something simple for my hands while I think. Yeah, fair. Maybe he's just introverted. No, his dialogue so far has indicated there's something else to it. Excuse me. That sneeze came out of nowhere. Can't say I would call what you're doing there simple, but I guess that's beside the point. What's on your mind? So he's pretty good at whittling, is what that implies. Curious mind. Not much these days. I felt so at home in Duskwater, I think it's taken me some time to adjust. Okay, so in the context of... Thank you, Gremlini. In the context of his previous comments about having traveled a lot and not really being welcome in a lot of places, and his apparent care for Sia, this line is really interesting. So Duskwater was a place where he finally felt comfortable. And that on its own adds quite a bit to him. Because something about Sia and Duskwater made him feel like he could trust that it would work out to stay there, despite everything. Well, where were you before Duskwater? A lot of places. Too many places, if you ask me. Okay, let's take it simple then. Where were you staying just before you stayed in Duskwater? Everhearth, with the Void Maw dwarves. With 5 words. They threw me for a loop there. So, dwarves are a thing. Apparently multiple kinds of dwarves, because otherwise why specify void maw dwarves? So, dwarves exist. Neat. Did you like it there? Were you happy? I was. Truth be told, it was the happiest I've ever been.
Really?
How come? I learned to craft armor and weapons. They taught me their traditions and trade, all in exchange for nothing. Strange people, to be sure, but some of the best I'd ever known. I liked these dwarves already. It was there I learned to whittle, actually. Taught me how to stay happy with little. I learned there that the family you make can be just as loving as your own bloodkin. That's beautiful. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pry. You just looked like you needed to let some steam out. Marin has a way of getting people to open up that the rest of the cast seems to just not have. This is the most Elias has talked to anybody so far. Except for Sia, and that's mostly to berate her for her impulses. With everyone else, though, outside of this conversation with Marin, he's been very short with them. Then again, I guess if he stayed with dwarves, he would know how to be short with people.
Sure thing.
No, I don't mind at all. You're a good listener. Do you always spend your time letting near strangers vent to you? Surprisingly enough, no. I'm really more of a private person, but I hate to see people stuck in their own head. Then you have a gift, really. I've met too many that don't even care to notice, much less do something about it. Yeah. Bottom. I'm glad someone got the joke. You're too kind. I would say that honor belongs with you. Alright. Oh, right. These two were implied to have more history than Marin had with the others. Alden, come here. Your hat's falling off. Just leave it alone. There, that's better. Oh, I just realized their hair colors are similar. Are they siblings? Happy now? Don't be rude. Are you hungry? Did you pack enough beans? There's no way he's her kid. Because they mentioned that the graduating class of the Officers Academy were 18 and he's 14. She was graduating class and he was a freshman. So, probably siblings? I don't think this game is gonna go down the weird route there. I'm fine, Marin. Really, you're so fussy sometimes. I know, I'm sorry. It's just that all this must be so new for you. Training for this was the whole point of the academy. But you were supposed to have 3 more years to do it. Oh, I'm sure you miss your friends terribly. They were all recruited too. Actually fair. Siblings or family members of a sort. Yeah, probably. They have a certain resemblance to them. And they both have an affinity for admittedly different varieties, but they both appear to be magically inclined. That's right. I almost forgot about that. Well, is this the way we get to stay together? Very true. I was worried that you might get up to without me stopping you from setting all the buildings aflame. Marin, you're doing it again. Sorry, I just worry about you, Alden. We're facing all kinds of new dangers every day. Which reminds me, stay close to me in battle, alright? If anything goes wrong, I can heal you, but if you go too far, I can't guarantee you'll be safe. He's just glaring. Alden, did you hear what I said? Yes, Marin, stay close to you in battle. Alright, good. I know I said I played a little bit of this before, but it actually just kind of went over my head that they have the same hair and eye color until now. I only just put that together. They also share some aspects of the same color scheme. Hey, little man. Hope you're feeling good about that trial. Think we just might have set a record after all. You really think so? It's possible. I'm sure he wouldn't admit it, but from the look on his face, I'd wager you managed to impress my father, too. That's more than I can say for myself.
Wow.
Headmaster Galen? Wow. Yep, Headmaster Galen. Still sounds weird when people say that. Why? Because to you, he's just dad? Sure, let's run with that. Does he act differently at home than he does at the academy? Yes, quite. I thought he probably had a soft side. He's much worse. Oh.
Well, what do you know?
Nevertheless, we managed to narrowly escape his clutches. Bit of an early graduation for you. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Yes, well, life's full of surprises. Good for you to learn that lesson early. I think Headmaster Galen used to say something like that. Yeah, the one who is always prepared is never taken by surprise. Gods, I hope I'm not starting to sound like him. That is a rather convincing Galen impression, though, Alden. Terrifyingly so, in fact. Thanks. I'm not sure that was a compliment, kid. Alright, this looks like the last of the bond conversations. Garrick, hello. Everything's been happening so fast, I don't think I've had the chance to thank you for helping me with my trials.
Really
No need, it was a privilege to see things through to the end for you. Not just for me, for all of us. And not even really the end, just the start of a new beginning. That's why they call it commencement. I always wondered about that.
Really?
Really? No, I never gave it a second thought. Oh, Garrick. I'm sure you're a bit anxious about Alden. He is quite young, after all. And that's not even the half of it. At least he'll be close where I can keep an eye on him. He'll be in good hands then. And if his performance at your trial was any indication, he definitely shows promise. Oh, Tarazak, I happen to know that you've played Fire Emblem. You know that one rare passive in some games where a unit gets better stat growths? Alden has that on steroids. Every level up, he's guaranteed at least 4 stats go up. Guaranteed. Yeah. Yeah. So he is going to turn into an absolute beast of a unit. He's very gifted, that's for sure. He just needs some direction. Well, you usually provide that whether your recipients want it or not. Am I really that bossy? Not with most people, no. Just with you. A bit, perhaps.
It'll be alright.
Yeah, well, maybe you could use it. Ever give that a second thought?
Hardly.
Can't say I have. Yeah, let's see. Where am I? Here it is. Alden? Yes. Can't get less than 4 stats while leveling. That's just his ability. Oh yeah, what do my new units have? Elias Soulfire has a small independent crit chance. So does that mean he always has a base crit chance regardless of his normal crit chance? Like, he could crit any enemy? Or does that mean he has a small chance to crit a second time? Can this man double crit? Plus 50% effect from healing items. Oh. Alden has some serious Ewan Nino vibes, which is weird for how early you get him. I get the sense that he was probably the first character conceived for the cast. Something about him feels a lot more grounded in the art style, but also a lot more rough than some of the other designs. Like they were figuring out the aesthetic with him. Let's see. Allies within 2 tiles gain plus 8% power. Okay, so she's good to keep with people. Magic increased by 20% of strength. Oh, wow. Okay. This guy's meant to be the heavy hitter whole unit. Oh, he's also level 9. Oh, he is 3 times the level of my other people. Oh, wow. Right, upgrades. How many I have 2 tokens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. Can I buy tokens? Weapon tokens, here we are. Yeah, I can buy tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have just enough to get every unit a weapon upgrade. So considering Lincoln seems to be a heavy hitter, let's upgrade his power weapon. Bianca, looking at her stats, I think she's also better with a power weapon. Irving, not to sound like a broken record, power weapon. Sia, I'm actually going to upgrade her crit weapon, because she seems to have a very high base crit rate. Elias, I think... It's tempting to go for the crit weapon and min-max him into crit with his passive, but I think that extra crit chance will mean a lot more with a power weapon. There's something to be said for upgrading a high accuracy weapon on a high strength character to patch up their weakness instead of doubling down. That's true, but I haven't really had any accuracy problems with Irving so far. And with Lincoln, it seems like doubling down is exactly the way to go. Let's see. Yeah. With Alden in particular, with high stat growths, I think it's better to focus on raw power with him, because I don't think his speed or his crit rate or his evasion is really going to suffer for it. Like, I don't think he's going to be giving up a lot. For Marin, I'm thinking I'm actually going to go with the speed weapon for her so that she has, you know, a little bit of everything it looks like, but also a higher evasion rate, being a more or less non-combatant. And for Garrick, I honestly don't know here. He wasn't doing enough damage with the speed weapon, the short bow, to really... Or I guess that's balance weapon. For me to really consider using it before. I'm thinking the longbow. Does your last equipped weapon also apply to enemy phase in this game? Yes. You will defend and counter with whatever weapon you had previously equipped. Yeah, I'm going to go with longbow, because he was most useful targeting high evasion units before. And I'm going to save now that all that's done. Just up ahead there. Yeah, speed weapon on the heel will probably help her keep from getting doubled as well then. Yeah, that's my hope. So from what I gather, when a unit reaches level 10, you on the spot class them up. You don't need to like do another thing like with Fire Emblem. And it seems like each of these basic classes has 4 paths they can go down. And I'm pretty sure the healer has a pure magic path, and that's probably what she's going to fall into. Just up ahead to here. This is it. Positions, everyone. Let's make short work of these criminals. Just a moment, darling. What? Come again? Was there a relationship scene I missed? Bait? Maybe if you listen to me instead of stuffing your face full of biscuits at the palace... I guess they would have to be acting, yeah, because this makes no sense. It just confused me, because there was no indication that this was the plan. Until this moment. It's not the biscuits, dear, I assure you. It's all this gold. Couldn't those bankers have spared us an ass or two? I guess he means donkey. Or perhaps a few bodyguards to protect it? They're much too miserly for that. Besides, the king keeps these roads in good shape for travelers like us. If travelers like you have any mind to leave in good shape, you best be handing over your valuables. Nice and easy. I'd like to take a look at this gold. Really should have been explained better. Yeah. Yeah, it threw me for a loop. I guess that's one way to retain the player's attention. Just completely throw them for a loop like that.
Really?
Take a look at this, lowlife. If it's a fight you want, you'll have it. I reckon the other prisoners could use a bit of company. Am I going to get more units? Is that what the prisoners are? Because that, to me, just knowing Fire Emblem, screams optional unit recruitment. Alright, what do we got? Bianca and... Probably going to keep Bianca and Lincoln on the back burner to let the others catch up and level. I like the intimidating axe hand slap animation on those bandit guys. Yeah, something I noticed about these bandits is their attacks. The preview shown on their animations doesn't really super accurately show what their damage they're going to do. Because that prediction seems to be set up assuming that the enemy is going to hit once. But these guys hit twice. And it's trying to predict the overall damage, and it's not super accurate. There's also these guys with the fencing swords hit 3 times. And somehow they're more accurate. Gained a tier 1 token. Okay. Just gonna send him out to start swinging. So yeah, you'll see with this guy, he'll hit twice. Unless they crit. When they crit, they do 1 big hit. Oh, I guess he's not getting a chance. Oh no. Okay, so it's... Yeah, I see it projected 7 damage for him, but it did a total of 9. Because of how these attacks work. So there's a slight disconnect between how the preview is calculated and how multi-hit works. Seems like a bit of a bug. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on it getting fixed. This game is a bit older at this point. But it's also not really a problem if you are aware of it. Let's just put him there to... Yeah, putting these guys here so that they can't hit the archer. And I guess my objective here is just to... take out all the bandits. So I'll be probably taking a more aggressive posture on this mission compared to... Ooh, critical hit. Compared to the previous mission. I like that crit animation for spears because the animator actually knows how spears work. That is a well-researched critical hit animation for spears. Because you could actually see in the sprite, he rested the spear on the back of his hand to line it up. Or she did.
One step at a time.
And you could see the thumb sticking up to steady it. That is actually how you aim a thrust with a spear. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did they just triple into 1 unit? Well, that sucks. Like, a lot. You die for that.
You right now.
Leave some for me.
Well, she's also twice the level of the rest of my units, so whatever, I guess. Fortunately, unit permadeath is not a thing in this game. They just get a stat penalty that, as far as I can tell, seems to be, unfortunately, rather permanent. And I don't think fortitude is going to be super important for her, because she seems more evasion-focused once things get moving. Alright, yeah, I think Alden's better off finishing off this axe guy. So, Bianca will be back next mission. And I don't think it's gonna
What'll it be?
hurt her too bad. Oh, this guy is dodgy.
Didn't give him much of a chance, huh?
Fine by me.
Alright, she's now pulling ahead of the others a bit. Not dodgy enough, yeah. These guys have an annoying degree of evasion. Yeah, they definitely prioritize accuracy of their attacks over, looks like, pretty much anything else. So, looking at this layout, I'm thinking I'm going to circle around up top to kind of choke point these guys in this space here, so that I don't end up having a single unit get surrounded and completely jacked up like last round.
Rally to me.
So just get everybody moving up here. Oh, route for 9 turns. So I'm just doing as much as I can within 9 turns is what's happening.
I'm on it.
Actually, since he's way over leveled, I'm going to send him down that way. Yeah, and Irving can take whatever these guys decide to try and dish out. Alright. Now he's level 5.
With every swing.
So... Okay, Alden can't quite one-shot these guys, so I wonder if... Yeah, Irving can take this guy out.
How did you do that?
Freeing up Alden to come down here and soften this target. And level up. Getting another good level up because he can't get anything else.
Right away.
And then hopefully Lincoln... Okay, this guy has 1 HP left, but also is doing 3 damage.
Lead the way.
She can come heal him by taking Alden's place.
At your disposal.
I guess I will send her to attack this guy. Yeah. Because I can then finish him off with my archer, who has very high accuracy and only needs to do 1 damage.
At your disposal.
And Elias can come finish this unit off. Alright, so the choke point strategy worked. Ooh, is he going to do triple damage or double damage? Double. Okay, so his Soulfire is just an additional chance to crit. Like, in addition to his chance to crit. Bonk. I keep forgetting that the healers are, by default, heavy armor units in this game. Let's see, who could use the experience? Elias, you come, or Garrick, you come finish this guy off. Irving, you come and block the choke point.
Lead the way.
Marion, you heal the other healer. Elias can go down here with these two as backup to flank in a minute. Seems like it probably means he has an innate boosted crit chance. Yeah, that's the read I get here. Oh, this bandit here has a high crit weapon. I need to probably finish him off ASAP. Ow. Did not register to me initially that there was an archer there. Fortunately, the high-speed bandits don't really threaten my tanky unit much. Probably have Garrick with his high accuracy try to take this bandit out.
Together.
And have Irving lay into the archer.
How can I help?
Marin heals him.
Follow me.
Um,
I'm on it.
let's see. I'm actually going to have Elias use the accuracy weapon here to finish this guy off.
Leave some for me.
Oh, that is a nice level up. Alright, that frees Sia up to... Whoa, yeah. Whoa, indeed. That frees Sia up to... try and get this guy. I'm kind of crit fishing. Yes! It paid off. I was kind of crit fishing there.
You have my thanks.
It's tempting to move Alden up to target one of these two axe wielders, but I think he's actually going to be a lot better off finishing off of this archer. That's a cool crit animation. Yes.
Warning next time?
Yes, it is.
Awaiting orders.
Let's see. Who could use healing? Alden, you.
When you're ready, follow me.
There's not really a reason to not heal with a healer that doesn't have an enemy to fight in that moment. Just because it gives them some free experience. Dodgy characters get to do silly acrobatics on hit. I also like the detail that instead of it just being a single hit for double damage, it's they attack twice with that one attack. Alright, who needs experience the most right now? Looks like Garrick could probably use it the most, so he gets to finish this guy off. Gained a tier 1 token. Nice. And it looks like I'm probably not going to get down to the south to fight the rest of them before this mission ends, but may as well push forward regardless.
Let's do it.
Ah, what the... Stop that. Go back. Did not mean to bring up the trade menu here. For the healers, I may as well have them heal who they can. Just
I'm on it.
net a little extra experience. Oh. This guy actually has the movement to, close the distance. Oh, which means I might actually get to take him down. Which, if I know Fire Emblem games, he looks like the leader unit, since he has an actual name. Which means he's probably carrying some loot. Can my archer reach him for more experience? No?
Lead the way.
Well, let's get Marin some bonus experience from healing. And also make this next
Paying off.
move a lot less risky.
Together.
Because I'm going to have Irving actually finish off this unit. Received raw
Sword
egg.
grows lighter
Yeah, he
with
had some
every
loot.
swing.
And I guess I'll just move these guys up. Just in case I'm not quite understanding the mission correctly. Because if I am understanding the mission correctly, I may as well just click end turn. Egg. Reward is egg. Okay, yeah, stage clear.
United.
Okay, so I got a couple of upgrade tokens. Decent amount of gold. A lot of experience. Okay. Good mission overall, despite the one hiccup right at the beginning. This one seems to be carrying a map of some kind. Yeah, it's got a couple of ambush sites marked and several paths leading back to a place called Drakenweld Manor. One moment. I'm gonna open the window behind my PC here. It's pretty quiet outside right now. And it's kind of warm in my room. Oh, the wind sounds nice outside. In case I haven't mentioned before, I'm a night shift worker, so as things start to get dark and mellow outside, that's when I kind of start feeling more at home. So I'm kind of hitting my stride in my day right now. Let's see. I was thinking about just streaming to 9 o'clock like last time, but I think I'm going to keep going a bit longer. I'm feeling good about this game. I'm enjoying myself. Oh, I am an ex-night shift worker. Yeah, so you know, like, when you get used to the night shift, just seeing it get dark and hearing it get quiet outside, kind of, you feel more in your element, right? I do have to get off now, sadly. Have a good rest of your stream. Thank you, Tarazak. See you later. Have a good night. This will be on YouTube later if you want to see what you missed. It's got a couple of ambush sites marked and several paths leading back to a place called Drakenweld Manor. Well, if that's not a villain's lair, with a name like that. What kind of amateur crime lord lets their henchmen run about with a map of their secret hideout? That is a... It's rather crudely drawn. I wouldn't be surprised if the bloke made it himself. Huh. Yeah, only thing I don't miss is everything being closed when I get off because it was 4 a.m. My solution to that has just been to basically... Right now, I get off work at usually between 5 and 6. It's, I do security, so it really depends which site I'm posted to on that night. Usually I'm getting off around 5 or 6. I just go to bed as soon as I get home. So I wake up at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and that gives me a good 6 hours of daylight time when things are open and normal people are operating to get stuff done. And doing it that way has been very successful for me so far. Well, let's hope he was a better cartographer than Bandit. Tell me, Elias, do you know anything of this place? Oh, I thought about doing that. I worked at Amazon 10-hour shifts. I used to look for 24-hour place. Ugh. Amazon is rough. I actually took up security work partially to get out of jobs like that, because I was stuck in the retail work hellscape where when all you have on your resume is retail work, all anybody thinks you're capable of is retail work. So I went from retail into asset protection, which is corporate speak for retail security guard. You're there to stop shoplifters. I did that for a few months, and with that, I was able to segue into residential security. So now I do, like, apartment complexes and private housing developments. Just kind of making sure there's no vandalism or break-ins. And, you know, it's more meaningful work than I've had in the past because the people that live at these places, they see security being diligent, and it gives them a peace of mind that is rare and hard to find in the modern day. So I'm honestly pretty happy to be doing security. Well, got a little real there for a moment, but back to the game, I suppose. Not specifically, the Drakenweld family was quite influential in Duskwater and partly responsible for its founding as a mining town. Worked at 2 Amazon locations. One was great but hot, second was decent management but fragmented to say the least, but also hot as all hell. Yeah, I've heard they don't air condition the warehouses. There's a lot I could say about Amazon as a whole, but I want to keep the vibe of these streams positive, so I'm gonna leave my own thoughts on the company unsaid. I'm sure you can probably guess, but we're here for good vibes, so good vibes it is. The Drakenweld family was once quite influential in Duskwater. In their defense, they do, but not that well. Okay, fair. I will also move along. Partly responsible for its founding as a mining town. Okay, Duskwater's a mining town. It's just over the hill there. What happened to them? What always does. One bad heir and a whole lot of empty coffers. Yeah, this was definitely written by a history nerd. I love it. If it's truly a noble manor, it will be well fortified. I suggest taking the afternoon to prepare. The cover of night might just be the advantage we need. That is a shocking degree of insight coming from Irving.
Good man.
Good man. It's refreshing to be among professionals. Your training serves you well. At least all those drills wiping windows are finally starting to make sense. Could you elaborate, Irving? Because it doesn't make sense to me that you say that. Speak for yourself. Yeah. I like that whenever a character says something that doesn't quite click, another character is bad air, empty coffers. Pretty common history issue, Wolf. Yeah. I love that when one character says something, explains the war. War makes money. Also true. That is, these two things are not unconnected in most cases. But yeah, I love how when a character says something that kind of comes from left field, another character very quickly is always like, come again? So, like, the writer is showing that they understand that some of these world-building bits might not make sense at the moment. After successfully ambushing the bandits, the party discovers the location of the bandit stronghold. They plan to take the night to prepare for a full assault. Drakenweld Manor, a dilapidated noble estate in the forest, has become home to a hive of brigands. Having heard mention of prisoners, the party agrees to make the safety of any captives their top priority. Okay. More bond conversations. Well, Lincoln, Sterling spoke quite highly of you. Then you must have caught him in a good mood. How did you meet? At Vulture's Eyrie, in Frost Soul of 1100. Did Sterling ever speak of it? I guess Frost Soul is I would guess that's either a month or a word they use for winter. Only afterwards, when he returned on leave, he was very secretive about it before then. No doubt his discretion is why Varric trusted him with the mission, and his skill, of course. And why did Varric trust you? I had been to Vulture's Eyrie before and knew several ways in and out, but to be honest, even my knowledge of our purpose there was strictly need to know at the time. Ah! Yeah, this is what I mentioned about that bug earlier. Sometimes when Irving changes expressions, it changes to like some kind of summertime alt skin. Gonna lean towards month. Yeah, probably. I think there was like a beach episode DLC at one point for this game, and I think it's glitching and referencing the DLC sprites. You might, but I could say the same of him. Hardly any part of that mission went according to plan. Your brother was quick on his feet. Always has been. Man has a cool hat. Yeah. When I was 10, Brookstead was raided by a large force of bandits. Sterling took it upon himself to rally the townsfolk and repel the attack. So I've heard. That retelling always made him quite bashful. I'm not surprised. He's never been one to rest on his laurels. Always kept his eyes focused on the next great achievement.
Indeed.
And that has served him well.
Kidding.
It definitely has. I just hope I can do the same. A worthy goal. Those two are very serious people, it seems. Lincoln, I'm really loving the whole solemn stoic deal. Bet it kills with the ladies. Charming. Meant no disrespect, of course, just figure there must be a reason for the solemnity. Assuming there is, what makes you think I'd tell you about it? We're comrades now, brothers in arms, let there be no secrets and so on. Besides, you must have some sort of code against lying, right? There's a difference between omission and mistruth.
Sure?
Am I getting that right about lying? Or was it lying with women? For all that training you received at the academy, I'm surprised you never learned to treat your superiors with respect. Listen, no harm in keeping everybody humble. Might be one of my gifts, actually. Humility begins with oneself. Take my word for it, or don't. If I can't teach that to you, a few hard battles will. So Lincoln's basically telling this guy to get bent.
Well, what do you know?
Frightening. For all your exquisite qualifications, I wouldn't have expected to find prophet of ill tidings among them.
I've said my part.
If you have no real objective here, Garrick, I'll be finished with this foolishness. I have preparations to attend to. I'll break that visage eventually, my friend. Just a matter of time. Okay, I didn't get any new units, right? And I don't have enough gold to give everybody a weapon upgrade either, so let's just drop a save and move to the next mission. Not a bad spot. After a little remodel, some interior decorating, I can see the charm of this place. Well, no use knocking, I suppose.
Pace yourself.
We should be careful. The first bandit mentioned prisoners. We don't want this to turn into a game of chicken featuring hostages. Speak for yourself. I'm rather fond of chicken. See ya. They have hostages. Take something seriously. You may have noticed we're short on hostages, Sia. The sooner we ensure their safety, the better. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll help us fight our way to the leader. Okay, yeah, that's definitely telling me this is an optional recruitment objective. Right, traumatized prisoners are going to be in any shape to fight. Doesn't sound even remotely likely. Hey, it happens in all the stories I read. Could happen here. But chicken! Yeah. I could go for some chicken right now, actually. Well, let's hope we're in one of those kinds of stories then. Let's do this. That is a very self-aware kind of line. And I like that the writers are mentioning how unrealistic that is. Without actually breaking the characters. Loading. This chapter doesn't have a turn limit, but you'll receive more gold the faster you complete the chapters. Okay, let's see what we got here. There's a lot of mages on this map, I'm noticing, so I'm going to have to be careful with my armored units. There's a new class in play called Drifter. They have some armor units of their own and some, looks like, upgraded mages. I'm going to need to be pretty careful. Probably keep all my units together for the most part. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to need to keep my units together and operate carefully. Yeah. Irving, you finish this guy off. Just because you can guarantee it. Garrick, you use your high accuracy to soften this guy. Okay.
Can do.
Don't want to take too many chances, so let's send the higher level unit with a higher hit rate to finish him.
I guess.
High dodge character here to stand in their way. Because my... Yeah, okay. So, because... Oh. Another notification? I keep hearing notification sounds. No notification. Huh. Because my healers are effective against plate armor and are themselves armored, I'm gonna have them inconvenience the heavy armor knights to protect my backline. And just stick Elias here so that they can't circle around and gang up on my healers that way. These guys are just feeding me free experience by attacking when they can't really hurt those guys. Oh, he circled around anyway. Okay. I guess that's kind of the benefit to having both my healers right next to each other, though. I can just heal the other healer. Oh, is that... Okay, I think what's happening is my chat window on my PC keeps disconnecting, and I'm getting notifications when it reconnects. Alright, how do I... Alden, you can finish him off, probably. There we go. Another good level up with Alden. Yeah, I'm gonna have you finish off the guy you weakened before. And he gets another good level up as well. Alright. Marin, you... Let's see. Not quite. Okay, Marin cannot finish him off, so she will target this one. Lincoln, you heal Marin. Elias, you keep him from moving. Okay. Sia, you attack this guy. Not doing a lot of damage there, but
In position.
I can use Chain to immobilize him real quick. Have Irving attack this one, and they can't double up on any of my units because nobody's in range of the one that can't move. I think that makes sense. And getting some actual combat she's well suited to is helping Marin start catching up to the others in terms of experience. So... yeah, she's going to try to finish this guy off.
Bottoms up.
And with a lucky crit, pulls it off despite a whiff. Received Aramore Oysters. So I need to try and get her a healer. Okay. Bianca softens up this target. Nope. Whiffed. Okay. Irving softens up this target. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. That was definitely a cool moment from the rogue. And then...
Let's do it.
yeah. Alden, you... if I switch to accuracy... no, he comes just shy. Okay. Let's see if he hits. There we go. So now that bandit can't further threaten anyone. I think it's time to move this healer up over here. I'm noticing that these mages can reach across the wall, and he can reach in front of this door. So I don't want to put anyone up here yet, and I probably want to use my archer to try and pick off at least one of these mages. Marin, I need to have finished this bandit, get her some of that experience she needs.
Oh well.
Oh, that's not a good level up. Oh well.
I'm on it.
Move Elias up here. Okay, I guess none of the enemies are gonna make a move just yet. I think I'm gonna do something kind of risky. And I am going to move Elias here
Together.
to lure out this mage right here. Because if I lure him out and deal with him, I can kind of deal with the rest of what's right around there pretty comfortably. So the rest of this just starts being about positioning. Yeah, so Alden has decent magic resistance being a mage himself, so he's not hurt too bad. And that also gets the other two to start moving up. Something tells me Sia will be... Yeah, Sia is very good at fighting mages. Another lucky crit to counteract the whiff. That frees up Alden to come and lay into this guy. And Garrick to finish the job.
I'll take point.
Can I push my allies? No? Okay. Okay,
Can do.
I'm a little worried about Alden in his current position,
How can I help?
but I feel like he can probably take one more hit without being threatened. Okay, that 9% crit chance made me a little nervous, but he's okay. And I have 2 healers on standby.
Let's do it.
Okay,
This should be fun.
how well can you attack over here? Ugh, that is risky. That is very risky.
Together.
So I think have him open that. Have Sia rush this guy, or no, disarm this guy.
You dropped something.
Have Lincoln come up here and absolutely wallop this guy. He's gonna take some damage, but not a tremendous amount. Okay. Marin comes over here to heal Alden. Alden finishes off the knight.
Was that really necessary? I've got a lot to learn.
Okay. I think this is the least risky way of going about this I can arrange. Because these two enemy mages are just really hard hitters. So as long as this guy doesn't crit... Okay. Okay, we are good. I'm pretty sure. Because Marin can zip up here, heal him. Sia can come and... Yeah, she can safely finish him off, especially if she crits and doesn't even give him a chance to counter.
Fine by me.
Another great level up for the rogue.
This should be fun.
My archer can weaken this guy, and as long as I finish him off by the end of the turn, I'm okay.
Right away.
Which... Nope, not comfortable committing to that.
Right away.
Instead, let's pull him back to heal the archer.
I won't let you fall. At your disposal.
Let's see, can Elias... So if I have Elias up here, he weakens this guy. Can Irving finish it, like, reliably? Oh, I did... Forgot to check, but he had a 100% hit rate anyway. Okay. So those two mages there were a bit of a precarious situation, but we got there in the end. It looks like there's an archer in that cage.
I guess.
Rescue. My hero. Oh, she has a ferret. Butter hates it in here. Butter the ferret. Oh, right. Sorry. Butter is my ferret. Thanks for rescuing me. Okay, so she is, in fact, an archer. So let's get her going. Marin, I need you to heal your other fellow healer. Come on.
How can I help?
Heal. Yes.
Right away.
Lincoln, I need you to heal the Adept. Irving, you get ready to... Okay, so move him up. Move him up. I guess just keep Bianca about where she is. Butter is so cute. It is a cute ferret. Actually, what is her passive? Butter has a 20% chance to attack, adding 20% to damage. Feisty little guy. Looks like... yeah, she's got decent stats. Okay.
Awaiting orders.
Alright. Move him up. Have her heal Alden. Have Sia come up here.
Take point.
Irving. Oh, did not mean to... Because I do not want to tackle all these guys up here just yet. Okay, I need to close the PC window for my Twitch because that notification is catching me off guard too much. Instead, I'll just turn up the notifications on my phone. Okay. Have Bianca
Let's
take
do it.
point. Okay. We do have another couple of mages over here, and that does make me nervous. But if I'm careful... Okay, so I can lure this guy out without a huge amount of risk. Probably bring him up here. And as long as I don't, like, enter the hallway, these two can't really do anything to me. So I think I can manage this carefully enough to,
My hard work is paying off.
that's a better level up for her.
Right away.
To keep this from getting too hairy. Especially now that I have another archer to target them with. So I'm going to end turn for the moment. I know it said I'm going to get more gold for doing this quickly, but I really think doing this quickly is what's going to be my undoing. So I'm going to play this patiently. So that should lure out the axe unit here and nobody else. Oh, they got them to move up too. That's actually really good for me, I think. Because now I can... Okay, so I need to do 16 damage after that. How much can you do? 9. 13. Okay, so... That's not gonna do it.
Let's do it.
Let's have Alden actually finish off this bandit.
Be careful. I won't lose you.
Gained a tier 1 token. Okay. So he can soften this target without much risk.
This should be fun.
And then Garrick can, if I switch him to the Warbow, he can probably one-shot this guy. Or finish him off at least. Okay, move you up.
How can I
Move
help?
you up.
Can do.
I'm going to... Okay, how much risk does she put herself at by attacking? Oh, she can just kind of finish this guy off guaranteed, and even if he crits, he can't finish her. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
So that's that defused. There is some more... Okay. Not out of the woods yet, but getting there.
My turn.
I can move the archer up here, move you up there, have Elias bring up the rear here. So he's going to move in before these two, so I'm thinking Elias needs a bit more experience, so I'm going to move him up. And I'm going to use this turn to heal
Hold me for a second.
these
Awaiting
two,
orders.
mostly.
I won't let you fall.
Gonna move Alden up here, along with Garrick. And Sia's finally caught up with the rest. No, don't trade. And I can move Bianca here as well. Yeah. So predictably, the archer went and targeted the adept, and the other archer went after my mage. Which, if I'm... Yeah, he has leather armor. So now what I can do... You can hit this guy. Marin can swoop in and top up his health. Let's see. No, that puts Alden at risk. I can move Irving up here. Almost finish this guy off. Actually, if Irving just finishes this guy off, nothing else can actually target him, so he's okay for now if I do that. If I move Garrick up to attack these axe guys, I don't think my other units can cover him effectively, so instead he's going to target this guy.
Was that really necessary?
It's good to be
He's just getting some awesome level ups. Okay.
right away.
Now you heal there. The others can't really target her here. Move Bianca up here. And I guess also put her behind where she can... Okay. So drifters look like they might be they're probably a dexterity-based axe unit, which is something you really don't see in Fire Emblem. This isn't Fire Emblem, but it's still interesting to note. Okay. So my archers are good against the leather armor on these guys. As is Irving's sword. Honestly, these guys are not all that effective against my melee units, so I can just kind of lean into them without much risk. I'm gonna have Sophia finish this guy off. I'm going to open these gates. I know that's risky, but I have a plan. Alden is going to use this spell against the knight, and he's going to crit, which means he gets to actually take out this knight in this combat. It was a risky plan, but it paid off in the end, and that's the important thing. Received spicy meatball. Okay. Elias keeps him from moving for now. Marin heals him. And Lincoln moves to cover the mage. And that has more or less eliminated all of the risky aspects of this situation. So I can rescue the other prisoner.
One step at a time.
I've been getting some really good level ups this stream. I've also been getting really lucky with getting most of the crits when I decide to go crit fishing, which is not a habit I should get into. Okay, Garrick, you go ahead and...
Would hate to be
I was gonna say just soften him up, but if you want to take the kill, go right ahead. Sophia, you also... Let's see. Ooh, she seems like she likes the crossbow. She has a high crit rate with the crossbow. A higher crit rate than Elias, or than Garrick does with the crossbow. And I suppose
at your disposal.
Elias is probably the best to take the experience for finishing this one. Send her up there to... Looks like I'm gonna get another mage here.
Stay with me.
Have my healers patch people up, and then I'm probably... I don't really want to tangle with the half a dozen mages over here on my way to the boss. That treasure is tempting, but I really do think going after this route is going to cost me some units. So I'm going to go up here, where I'm only dealing with 3 mages, and the drifters that I'm pretty well equipped to combat besides that. So I am giving up some treasure, but I feel like in the name of risk management, it's well worth it. Alright, I might need to pull Irving back to heal a little bit, depending on how this goes. Okay, so if I do this, he can't go anywhere for now. And Alden can probably take this guy down. Received blood orange.
I'll take point.
And then Irving can relatively safely attack this guy.
Awaiting orders.
Need to preemptively move my healers up, though. Otherwise, this can get pretty bad pretty quick. Gonna have Sia rescue. A cage is no place for a Valmyran. I mean, she says the name Valmyran like that's supposed to mean something to me. She is, in fact, a mage, and she's a little bit ahead of the game as far as level, so... What's her passive, actually? Plus 15% hit chance when in melee range, so she's a battle mage. Gotcha. The mages up top are retreating. All the enemy units up top are kind of retreating now. Why are they doing that?
That settles that.
Huh. Why are they retreating? Are they just trying to surround the boss? Is that like some pre-programmed behavior? Huh. Well, for now...
At your disposal.
I'll probably have... Yeah, Sophia, you... finish him off.
Here goes nothing.
Ferret's Fury and a crit, so this guy's getting hit hard. Alright. Marin, you patch up Irving. And Lincoln Alden. Move everybody else up to further press the assault. Yeah. It is too easy. One thing I will say is it is way too easy to open the trade menu when positioning units.
Thought you'd never ask.
Alright. Uh, 19% crit rate. Nah, it would make me more nervous if he wasn't doing 4 damage on his base hit. Yeah, those units are just straight up retreating. I guess I'm not gonna argue with the risky units just getting themselves out of my way, but it makes me wonder why. Only a 65% chance to hit, but if he does hit, he finishes this guy. Again, I should not be getting into the habit of taking as many risks as I am here. But it's working for now, and that is the important thing.
Lead the way.
Marin goes here. It just occurred to me that the clicking of my mouse right next to my mic might be showing up on the recording. I might need to invest in a quieter mouse if that's the case. Because I don't really have a different way I can set my streaming area up than what I have going on right now. Oh, the mages are coming back. Huh, I don't know what's going on with them. Alright, and then move Marin up to heal Irving again. I guess since I don't want Irving in the mage's line of fire. Why did they have baked beans in a treasure chest? The clicking isn't that loud. It's still going to annoy some people, so I should probably do something to address it.
Are you sure?
But that'll have to be for another stream. I'll try to figure that out before my next stream, which unfortunately it might be
In position.
a while before my next stream because I'm probably going to be getting a lot more baked beans are a treasure. I mean, they can be, but it's a little weird to put them in a treasure chest.
You'd never ask.
Alright, the crit... I'm gonna have Garrick use the speed weapon here because it gives them a decent chance of missing him. And he does about the same damage when he hits twice. And then Irving might be able to swoop in and do that.
My sword
And
goes lighter
then
with
this is
every
something I
sword.
actually recently learned. Mages have this move called phase,
Have fun.
which just teleports a unit to the other side of
How
them.
can I help?
Which at least somewhat gets Irving out of the way. At the very least, it makes it impossible for both mages to attack him, which would really be the risky thing. Ow. I probably should have thought about the consequences of putting an archer on the front line like that. Little late now, but I don't think... Yeah, they don't really have an avenue to fully punish the mistake at the moment. Okay. I think I'm just gonna pull Irving back a little bit for now. Marin's gonna heal him.
Stay with me.
They're kind of using the choke point tactic against me here because I don't have a lot of room to maneuver against these guys at the moment. But I think I can make this work regardless.
I've got a lot to learn.
Alden's speed and endurance are honestly climbing pretty fast. If there's a battle mage or like a more close quarters oriented mage, he might be pretty good in that role the way he's shaping up. Okay, so that's that guy done, which frees up a closer range unit to
Can do.
attack him. Now I need to be mindful of putting allies in Moylin here's attack range because he is pretty high level compared to most of my units. But I think I can make this happen.
I feel stronger.
Sophia has a pretty solid character design too. Like, I know I keep saying that, but like, I don't know, her character design as a whole just is pretty solid.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so I think this is where it'll pay to move Irving back to the front line
What'll it be?
to weather the assault from the boss as I'm moving in, because I don't think I can close the distance and just gang up on the boss the way I would kind of need to. I think he's going to get a couple solid hits in no matter what I do.
I guess.
So the play here, I think, is to lure him out. And then deal with him that way. So if I go right here, that should lure him just far enough into the open. And I'm thinking I can use Sia's ability to disarm to basically just set him up to get absolutely wrecked by the rest of them.
I will not yield.
Or Irving's gonna show up and take more than half his health in one go. Still, oh, I cannot disarm the boss. Good to know. That said,
Bottoms up.
yep, here we go. Sia's going to soften him up most of the rest of the way. And let's see. Arrows are effective, notably effective against his leather armor, so let's have
Dynamic.
Sophia finish him off. And that is this mission done. Gained a tier 2
I feel
token.
stronger?
Ooh.
Do I look stronger?
Oh, I got an achievement. Take 25 or more turns to complete a chapter.
I hope I helped.
Alrighty. Got a lot of weapon tokens for that and a decent amount of gold even though I took my time. Prisoners, are you alright? I just spent 2 weeks in a disgusting bandit cage. What do you think? I'm better now that you saved us. 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks, eating nothing but thick porridge with no one but scruffy bandits for company. So the way she's talking, I'm gonna guess she's some kind of noble, because she did drop a name before. Well, it's over now. I kind of liked the porridge. Okay, so I'm guessing Sophia mostly roughs it out in the woods. If you don't mind my asking, how were you captured? It's a pretty funny story, actually. Funny? You walked us straight into them! So these two know each other. Okay, that may be true, but it was still funny the way it happened. Sophia and Sia are gonna get along great. They got you along the road?
Well,
We were taking a shortcut through the forest, maybe a half-league east, and ran straight into them. Didn't stand a chance to get away. If we'd just taken the road like I'd suggested, we would have been fine. I don't know if it helps to mention, but they cover that section of the road too, so you'd likely still wind up in the same spot. You couldn't possibly say that with any degree of certainty.
Greetings.
Oh, I think we met the villain. I love his staff, though. This guy is definitely a villain. I have zero doubts. That is the face of a villain. Good afternoon, young gentlemen, ladies. I was glad to hear the ruckus along the road. As it happens, these bandits stole a rather precious heirloom from my family. And what might this heirloom look like? An amethyst, quite a large one, translucent but poorly cut. Have you seen anything of the kind? If I could but retrieve it, I'd be well on my way. I don't want to give it to you, sir. It has been with us for uncountable generations, and my father has gone mad with grief from its loss. You have white hair. Your father is not alive. I'm calling it now. You are too old for your father to be alive in a setting based on medieval Europe. Liar. I fear he may soon pass from this world and would love to look upon it one last time. I don't know that we've come across anything of the sort, but you're welcome to take a look around. I thank you regardless, as I'm sure my father would if he were given the opportunity. I don't believe your father is alive. In fact, you kind of look like a necromancer. No, yeah, he's almost certainly a necromancer. I'm pretty damn sure. They got magic. His father is 100% a lich. Maybe. This guy could also be some kind of warlock. Hail, you don't look much like bandits. What gave us away? The dead bandits? I like this one. Well, found the assassin. And she looks like maybe another priest or a mage. No, looking at the sprite, she's a mage. We came to do the job. It appears you did for us. How serendipitous that the bandits go unopposed for weeks, but we both arrive on the same day. Yes, I can see how this might look. My name is Sarah. My sister Samara and I had been traveling far from home when this very group assaulted our parents and stole a valuable heirloom. Oh no. Well, I think I know which one's lying. Because now they're giving us the same story. It's been with our family for decades. It was really the only reason we came. Decades is honestly more believable than uncountable generations. Do you think we could take a look for it? Well, something like a large amethyst. Translucent but poorly cut. Oh, so you found it? Can't say we have. Lucky guess. It's clear that one of you, if not both, is lying. No one so much as touches this gem until we sort out what's going on. Yeah, Lincoln's like, we are not having any of this. No. Lying? I have been nothing but endlessly polite to you. I use the proper... Okay, so the fact that this guy uses superlatives so much in his speech... It implies to me that he is really trying to put on a show. You would deprive my dying father of his last wish. Calm down. If it really is yours, we'll figure it out. I think not. If I return without the stone, my father will have my head. Oh, your father who's mad with grief and bedridden and about to die. And now he's threatening us. Now step aside, you'll leave me with no alternative but to destroy you. How about you fuck off? Excuse my language, but I just don't like this guy. I'm not sure that was the wisest threat when you're outnumbered 10-1. Outnumbered? Me? I'll show you outnumbered. Called it. Necromancer. Bring me the aspect, and I shall see fit that your soul is given rest. If I lock eyes with this filth any longer, I'll be sick. There's his true colors. So he is a necromancer. Oh, speaking of, I am also missing an amethyst. Light in color and poorly cut. Let me know if you find it. Well. Hey, you three. If you're so confident about handling yourselves, maybe you want to lend a hand here? Gladly. As I said before, the only good bandit is a dead one. Let's make sure these ones stay that way. I suppose that means I'm in too. And as much as I... You know what, I'll be honest, I don't really care about leaving on a cliffhanger. So I just saved the game. Looks like we get to choose classes for the new people coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream here. Honestly, this stream has been fun. I think I had more fun with this one than the first one. Now that I've kind of figured out my overlay and I'm a little more confident in what I'm doing. A good 3 hours stream. It'll probably take me a bit to download the VOD and get it uploaded to YouTube, but I'll make sure to do that before the night is done. Thank you everybody in chat for coming by to chill with me. I hope it was a pleasant experience. And I'll try to keep everybody posted on my Blue Sky when my next stream is going to be. But like I said, might be a little bit because work is about to get piled on me at, well, work. So it might be a couple weeks before I find a free night where I'm going to have the energy and the time to commit to another stream. But I'll be sure to keep everybody posted. Thank you all for coming and have a wonderful night.